Games Workshop have released the FAQs for 8th edition. How is this going to affect our Necrons? Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, time to have a look at the new FAQs and in particular how they are going to affect our Necrons.
Necrons!
She's back, but don't worry, just for that one clip, I'm not going to keep doing it because after all, you can't get it out of your head, can you? Okay, right, so let's get on with this, but before we do, if you would like to keep up to date with all of the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Right, let's have a look at the FAQs. Now, first of all, I want to have a look at the main rulebook ones to see what's in there that maybe might affect the Necrons. So I've just highlighted a few. So put my glasses on and let's have a quick look. So the first one I've highlighted is reinforcements. Where it says, what about rules that add models to existing units? Do I need to pay reinforcement points for those models? And the answer is no, unless the rule itself says otherwise. So from our point of view, that's about the Canaptic Spider and how he can spawn onto the Scarab Swarm, so we don't have to hold back points for that, which is really great to see. But more importantly, what is missing from this FAQ about the Tomb Spider is the Gloom Prison. So the Gloom Prison allows you to make one Deny the Witch roll for every Gloom Prism you have on the table. And there is no range limit to that. So unlike Psychers, where it's 24-inch range, there's no range limit on a Gloom Prism in the rules, and that hasn't changed after this FAQ. So that makes Gloom Prisms really good. Tomb Spiders generating Scarabs doesn't really float my boat too much at the moment. I need to do some play testing, but I do roll a lot of ones when I generate Scarabs, and they now do D3 mortal wounds on a 4 wounded model. I'm not liking that too much. However, Tomb Spiders with Fabricated Claws, Gloom Prisms, they seem to be really good, so I'm definitely going to be starting to use some Gloom Prism Spiders at some point. So great that that wasn't FAQ'd. Right, let's have a look at the next one. So the next one basically is in the unit and weapon abilities. I won't read the whole thing, but it basically concludes that you can't stack Aurora abilities. So for example, Necromancer, which gives you +1 to RP, you cannot stack them. So 4+ RP is the best you can get. It's always been like that, so it makes sense, and to be fair, I didn't really think anything else than that's what it would be. So yeah, you can't stack them. And then the last thing, I just wanted to point out, nothing to do with Necrons really, but GW have confirmed that when you land more than 9 inches away from your enemy, however you deploy like reinforcements, etc., the charge range is 9 inches, because you're more than 9 inches away. You've got the 1 inch from your enemy rule, so that makes it a 9-inch assault. So a lot of people have been getting confused with that, saying it's only 8 inches, but yeah, you've got to be more than 9 inches away when you deploy. So that's been confirmed by GW. Right, there is one more thing I want to talk about, but that's in a second in the main rules. Let's move on to some of the Necron stuff. So first of all, Reanimation Protocol. They basically confirmed that it works how it used to work. So when you bring models back, you can't bring a model back near a model which has just come back. So in other words, you can't sort of daisy chain your models around. They've got to be coming onto the board near a model that was already on the board within 1 inch, etc. So that's just been confirmed exactly how it used to be. Imitate the Stormlords. Leadership is wrong in the index. It is actually supposed to be leadership 10. I have to be honest, I didn't notice it was only 9. But yeah, I mean, leadership 10 is Necrons, so that makes sense. That was obviously just an error of some description. Right, the next one is a very important one, and that is the Catacomb Command Barge. You need to add character to the keywords line. Woohoo! That's awesome. That's really changed that unit. Now, I have to be honest, I don't generally use the command barge, or I haven't over the years. When it first came out, I used it a couple of times just to have a play with it, but it didn't really suit my style of play too much. However, in 8th edition, now it's a character, that's really good, so you can have your command barge. It's going to be difficult for your enemy to target it, and even if they can target it, like snipers, etc., it's a lot more survivable, and it's a great thing to have. And of course the command barge still has that special rule where you can add 1 to the advanced dice roll, the charged dice roll, and more importantly the hit dice roll, helping those Tesla immortals, and that's 12-inch bubble of him as well. So the command barge has just gone up in potential units to choose from the HQ choices, and I will definitely be changing one of my Annihilation barges, which I've magnetised, into a command barge, 1 or 2, and trying them out. So that's great news, command barge. Right, next one is just a correction, added word for the Tesseract Vault, basically just confirming that the Catan has to use 3 different powers if it's at full wounds, but it's just confirming it has to use different powers of the Catan. So that's pretty basic. Right, okay, so now we're going on to some of the Necron questions. So how many wounds do Necron models have when they return to a unit using RP? They are returned with their full complement of wounds. Great to see Games Workshop confirming this. So yes, destroyers, heavy destroyers, anything with 2 wounds or more, when they get up after dying with RP, they come back with full wounds. This makes any multi-wounded RP models very powerful, very survivable. In particular, we are looking at destroyers and heavy destroyers coming back with full wounds. Fantastic, and great to see that that has been confirmed. So next we're going to look at quantum shielding. Can quantum shielding be used to prevent damage caused by mortal wounds? Okay, so this has been a rule where people have been discussing it, even on my channel in the comments. Personally, I was under the impression that a mortal wound is a mortal wound, so you shouldn't get any saves of any description. But then, going back to the main rulebook FAQ, there is one question here. Can abilities such as disgustingly resilient be used to ignore wounds if they are inflicted by mortal wounds? It's a yes. So some things can stop mortal wounds from happening. However, with the quantum shielding, they've indicated that the mortal wound only does 1 single point of damage, so you can not use your quantum shielding against it. Because it's only 1 point of damage. It makes sense. I feel that mortal wounds shouldn't have any chance of being saved. I think that's what mortal wounds are. Hell, they're mortal. So it makes sense really to me anyway, but at least we've got confirmation. There's no more arguments. Quantum shielding cannot be used against mortal wounds. Right, the next one, actually the last one, yeah, the last one is if I use times arrow Catan power on a unit who has models with different wound characteristics, what happens? So basically the owning player of the models chooses which ones to remove. Yeah, so basically just confirmation really that whoever owns the models that are dying, they get to choose who dies, which is how the game works anyway. So that's the FAQs. The FAQs at least that affect us as Necron players. So quantum shielding, mortal wounds, has been confirmed. It's not great for us, but at least we've got confirmation. And for me, that plays right. That's right. Command barge, character now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Reanimation Protocol been confirmed. We get up with full wounds. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, it's a good FAQ really, overall. Yeah, I'm happy. Right, maybe I've missed something. If I have, let me know in the comments box below. Thank you for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next video.